Imagine a time long ago, a time when the world was vastly different from what we know today. Picture a world without cars, phones, or even books. A world where the wheel was a groundbreaking invention. This was a time when civilization was just beginning to take shape, laying the groundwork for future societies. In a land called Mesopotamia, nestled between the Tigris and Euphrates rivers, a remarkable people emerged. They were the Sumerians. They built the world's first cities, complete with ziggurats and bustling marketplaces. They invented writing, known as cuneiform, which allowed them to record their history and transactions. The Sumerians laid the foundation for much of what we know as civilization today. Their innovations in agriculture, architecture, and governance set the stage for future empires. The Sumerians thrived thousands of years ago, creating a rich culture that included music, art, and literature. They lived in a part of the world we now call the Middle East, a region that has seen the rise and fall of many great civilizations. Their story is one of innovation, creativity, and enduring impact. From the wheel to the concept of time, their contributions continue to influence our lives today. Join us now as we journey back in time to uncover the mysteries of ancient Sumer, discover how their legacy has shaped the world we live in, and how their pioneering spirit continues to inspire us. The Sumerians lived in Mesopotamia, a region that is often considered the cradle of civilization. This ancient land was home to one of the earliest known human societies. The name Mesopotamia means the land between the rivers in Greek, aptly describing its geographical location. The two rivers that defined this region were the Tigris and Euphrates. These mighty rivers were the lifeblood of the land. They flowed through the land like giant serpents, winding their way through the arid landscape and bringing life to the region. This region is sometimes called the Fertile Crescent, a name that highlights its rich, arable land. The rivers flooded each year, a natural event that was both a blessing and a challenge for the Sumerians. These annual floods brought rich, nutrient-dense soil to the land, replenishing it and making it incredibly fertile. This fertile soil allowed the Sumerians to grow plenty of food, including grains, fruits, and vegetables. The abundance of food was crucial for the development of their society. It ensured that the population could be sustained and even grow. It meant that not everyone had to farm. With a reliable food supply, people could pursue other interests and professions. People were free to specialize in other skills, leading to a diversification of labor and the development of new crafts and trades. Some became artisans, crafting beautiful pottery and tools that were both functional and artistic. Others became merchants, trading goods with neighboring lands and spreading Sumerian culture far and wide. The rivers were also vital for transportation, serving as natural highways that connected different parts of the region. The Sumerians built boats from reeds, a resource that was abundant along the riverbanks. These boats allowed them to travel and trade along the waterways, facilitating commerce and communication. The rivers were not just physical features of the landscape. They were the arteries that sustained the lifeblood of Sumerian civilization, enabling it to thrive and prosper. We know much about the Sumerians from what they left behind. They were skilled builders and craftspeople. They built magnificent cities and temples. They created intricate jewelry and pottery. Their artwork was full of life and detail. The Sumerians were also pioneers in mathematics and astronomy. They developed a system of writing called cuneiform. This system used wedge-shaped marks on clay tablets. Cuneiform allowed them to record their history, laws, and stories. We can still learn from these ancient texts today. They offer a window into the Sumerian way of life. The Sumerians built impressive cities. These cities were centers of trade, religion, and culture. One of the most famous cities was Uruk. It was a bustling metropolis with massive walls and towering temples. The most striking structures in Sumerian cities were the ziggurats. Ziggurats were stepped pyramids made of mud brick. They rose high above the flat plains. Temples were built on top of the ziggurats. These temples were homes to the Sumerian gods and goddesses. Priests climbed the ziggurats to perform rituals and offer sacrifices. One of Sumer's greatest gifts to the world was writing. Imagine a world without writing. How would we share stories, record history, or pass on knowledge? Before writing, people could only share information through spoken words. This limited how much information could be shared and preserved. The Sumerians developed cuneiform writing over time. They started with simple pictures to represent objects. These pictures evolved into more abstract symbols. Eventually, these symbols represented sounds. This innovation allowed the Sumerians to record complex ideas. Writing revolutionized communication and knowledge-keeping. It was a major turning point in human history. The Sumerians were polytheistic. This means they believed in many gods and goddesses. They believed these deities controlled every aspect of their lives. There were gods for the sky, the earth, the waters, and everything in between. Anu was the god of the sky. Enlil was the god of wind and storm. Inanna was the goddess of love and war. Each city had its own patron deity. People would pray to these gods for protection, good harvests, and good fortune. They believed that keeping the gods happy was essential for their own well-being. Sumerian mythology is rich with fascinating stories. These myths explain the world around them. One famous myth is the story of Inanna's descent to the underworld. Inanna was a powerful goddess. She decided to visit the underworld, ruled by her sister Ereshkigal. However, Inanna's motives were not entirely pure. She sought to increase her power. She faced many challenges in the underworld. She was stripped of her power and ultimately died. However, with the help of other gods, Inanna was revived and returned to the world of the living. Perhaps the most famous Sumerian myth is the Epic of Gilgamesh. This epic poem tells the story of Gilgamesh, the king of Uruk. Gilgamesh was incredibly strong and powerful. However, he was also arrogant and selfish. He abused his power and oppressed his people. The gods decided to teach Gilgamesh a lesson. They created Enkidu, a wild man who was Gilgamesh's equal. After an initial struggle, Gilgamesh and Enkidu became close friends. They embarked on adventures together. Enkidu's death devastated Gilgamesh. The Sumerian civilization eventually declined. However, their innovations and ideas lived on. The Akkadians conquered Sumer. They adopted much of Sumerian culture. This included cuneiform writing, their legal system, and their religious beliefs. The Sumerian influence spread throughout Mesopotamia. It impacted later civilizations like the Babylonians and Assyrians. The Sumerians left behind a rich legacy of knowledge, innovation, and cultural achievements. Their story reminds us that even the most ancient civilizations can have a profound impact on the world. We can still see echoes of Sumer in the modern world. The ancient civilization of Sumer, which flourished in Mesopotamia thousands of years ago, has left an indelible mark on our contemporary society. Their innovations and discoveries continue to influence various aspects of our daily lives. The Sumerians were pioneers in mathematics and astronomy. They meticulously recorded their observations and calculations on clay tablets, which have survived the test of time. These early mathematicians and astronomers laid the groundwork for the complex systems we use today. They developed a base 60 number system, a revolutionary concept that has endured through the ages. This system is not just a relic of the past, it is a fundamental part of our modern world. We still use this system today to measure time, 60 seconds in a minute, 60 minutes in an hour, and angles, 360 degrees in a circle. This ancient numerical system is embedded in the very fabric of our daily routines and scientific calculations. Their observations of the stars laid the foundation for later astronomical discoveries. The Sumerians meticulously charted the movements of celestial bodies, providing a basis for the field of astronomy that continues to expand our understanding of the universe. The Sumerian invention of writing was perhaps their most enduring contribution. The cuneiform script, etched into clay tablets, was a groundbreaking development that enabled the recording of history, transactions, and stories. It allowed knowledge to be recorded and passed down through generations. This transmission of information ensured that the wisdom and achievements of the Sumerians were not lost to time. This paved the way for the development of literature, science, and philosophy. The ability to document and share ideas was a catalyst for intellectual growth and cultural evolution, influencing countless generations that followed. The Sumerian civilization may be long gone, but their impact on our world is undeniable. From the way we measure time to the way we record our thoughts, the echoes of Sumer resonate through the corridors of history, reminding us of the enduring legacy of this remarkable ancient civilization. The story of the Sumerians is a testament to human ingenuity and creativity. Despite facing challenges, they built a remarkable civilization. They made groundbreaking discoveries that shaped the course of history. As we look back at the achievements of the Sumerians, we are reminded that even the most ancient cultures have something to teach us. Their story inspires us to learn from the past, embrace innovation, and strive for a better future. The legacy of the Sumerians lives on, not only in the ruins of their cities but also in the foundations of our modern world.